Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin, editor-in-chief of Rapzilla.com, and we are here with a brand new show today, and it's called Pen Game 101, and I'm here with my awesome panel of Luke DiMarzio, Elijah Matos, and Richard Cutright. What up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
How you doing?
So, to quickly explain the show, Pen Game 101, it's three parts. But first of all, in hip-hop, when you're really good at writing, when you're really good at spitting bars, you have a very good pen game. And when something's a 101, like teach me something, journalism 101, science 101. So we're going to break down the bars, the pen of the rapper. Then we're going to play a game involving the pen of the rapper. And then 101, they're going to take us to school about the bars. So for our first episode, we have KB, and he's going to talk about his new album, His Glory Alone. So this is super exciting. Quickly, let's go around the table, starting with Luke. Say like 3 words about yourself, and then we'll pass it on to Eli, and then to Cutright.
All right. What's up? I'm Luke. I'm here in Vegas, and so I just woke up like an hour ago, but I'm good. Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited to be here. This is great. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah. Eli.
What's up, y'all? I am Elijah. I am from the greatest borough, the greatest city in the world, Brooklyn itself. I'm not trying to do anything different.
Queens all day. Queens all day.
We'll talk later. Yeah, college student, and currently been with Rapzilla for like 2 years now or something like that. But man, super excited about this. Super excited about getting to talk with you guys in KB. It's gonna be dope.
My name is Cutright, you know what I'm saying? Music director for the Justice League, battle rapper, nerd culture lover, and just all around great guy. Love walks on the beach, Sesame Chicken, and A Pretty Woman is my favorite movie of all time.
I thought you were going to say, and A Pretty Woman is my wife, but he went with
I'm in a movie, and my wife is the star. That's why.
All right, so that is the panelist. I'm really going to take a back seat to these guys and let these guys, do what they do. And, Luke does the bar exam on Rapzilla, where he does a first take listen of a project and gives you his thoughts. Eli does a deep dive of a bunch of projects and really weaves his way through the meaning of stuff. And Cutright is just a rapper with experience who knows bars, who knows production, who knows touring. So he kind of can just grasp things from an artist's perspective. And me, I'm just here to make sure nothing gets messed up. So that's really my whole purpose in this thing. And if it gets messed up, it's still my fault. But anyway, let's go into KB's His Glory Alone, starting with the first track, Let It Rain. Somebody start and
let it rain. Let it rain.
The original version goes just as hard, man. KB just went off on this one. How do you guys feel about it? What are your first reactions?
From jump, man, it sounded like super huge. I love the energy that he started the project with. The switch up was crazy. Like, soon as the beat dropped, you know what I mean? I was in the middle of here, then I was like, you know what I'm saying? And then, I can't wait to be in a live crowd when KB got this. Is definitely a show starter type of record. And your boy Bizzle, he knocked on the door to pay a visit, bro. He came through and showed up like Sinbad in House Party and showed the way out on the record too, bro. This whole part of the verse was super unorthodox, and I really like how they pulled the flow back, pulled the drums back, and really just allowed this verse to breathe with the claps. It was very, very dope in the way that they structured that thing. And I didn't even have to take a shower this morning because it was letting it rain. I just put it on and just dry soap and everything. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. I thought it was just huge and epic sound. I was ready to go fight Rocky or something. That's what it felt like. I was getting ready to enter the ring. Man, it was just crazy. It's just awesome to hear his first track on his first album since he left Reach sound like this. So yeah, it got me really excited for the rest of the album.
Yeah, someone needs to edit it and put this song over the Avengers assembling to go fight Thanos in Endgame. That's what we need. That's
just slow motion. Nah, bro. Right as soon as the portal opened up, he's like, on your left. Let it
Yeah, that's
It's gonna be wild, man. But yeah, just from I think not only just from the production point, but like he started off with the bars was crazy. You know what I'm saying? One of the stand-up bars in this song was he said, Lord Ben said, Lord now, been Lord then, never waited for endorsement, never kept a Forbes list when you got God as your portion. I was like,
I wrote that one down too. That was crazy, especially when you think about how it ties into Kanye's whole situation with being.
Oh, go ahead, talk about it. Go talk about it.
Kanye being freaking pushed off the Forbes list and throwing a fit about it, man. KB's like, forget the Forbes list, bro. You don't need it.
That's right, bro. My father owned the cattle on 1,000 Hill, bro. Boy, that was
let's get into Little Boy, because that was already a single, so you got to hear that before the rest of the album. So let's break that down.
So as a single, I liked it, but after hearing Let It Rain and then like the songs after it, I was like, where did this come from? It doesn't fit. It didn't fit for me. Like, I mean, sonically, it sounds like KB. It actually sounded more like a Lecrae song to me. I actually wrote that in my notes. Like, the song's fine, but I didn't think it fit in the overall just like scheme of how everything else sounds.
Yeah, it sounds very much like it's almost like a sister track to like Hold Me Back, right? Where it's like this is a certain era of KB, but I'm not sure if like it's in the same thematic or the same sonic or the same sound rather as something like His Glory Alone, which is like I want to say like at least 60% worship tracks in combined with rap. But I mean, I still think there are some fire bars in there. I think the way it mixes this idea of like maturity and KB talking about how he's putting on game for the younger cats. The fact, I think one of the lines that, it's kind of subtle, but he throws in there is like, you can be Floyd, I'd rather go be Du Bois. I was like, wait a minute, did you really just like sneak that in there? I think KB's very good at that. He's very good at saying something like really intellectual, but just letting it just pass. And you got to like really dig in to find it.
Word. I piggyback with y'all brothers. I thought it was a dope record. I felt like it was made specifically for the car, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that the drums come in, like it quake. Like I got a little Kia Forte, and if I had some 12s in my trunks, you know what I mean, to hold the, you know what I'm saying, it be going on, bro. But this joint, I feel like that I really, really, really liked how he drew the perception to manhood. That this record was a song that was created with the young black male in mind, especially how he went back to, said back in the days, how the OGs of the hood be like, hey, bro, I'm out here, I'm living this life, but you don't need to go that way. There's something better for you, and encouraging that. And him saying, hey, that was my story. They told me that, and I follow suit, and I'm successful. We're kind of laying out that blueprint, you know what I mean, for the younger guy to follow. So Little Boy turned into a big man. Hey.
So let's hit the next track, TenK.
Yeah, I wasn't really ever a fan of 10,000 Reasons, like the original worship song. Like it was just kind of sleepy for me. But like this version of it is crazy. So I really liked it. Especially like I love how he switches up his flow. He's awesome at like switching back and forth from melodies to bars. But then he like goes double time at the end of the first verse of this. It's just crazy. I love this one.
It was brazy, bro. It was brazy. You know what I'm saying? When it started, I expected it to go a totally different direction. But then as soon as the beat dropped, I mean, even the way that he wrote the beat, you know what I'm saying? It was like the baby got saved or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He was the baby Jesus. Well, he was the baby Jesus. But he wasn't the baby Jesus. Anyway, it just changed the whole temperature of the record. You know what I mean? And when it came to the verse, he was so versatile. It was like, like Vivian Glover, the tap dancer, just like tap dance all over the record with the verse. Yeah. And I enjoyed it at first, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how I felt about it because Armies was just so crazy to me, but it was okay follow up. I dug it.
Yeah, not to speed ahead to Armies, but man, I think what's so beautiful about both TenK and Armies, like you are reclaiming Christian radio for me, KB, where it's like, man, after years of hearing these songs every hour on the hour, like KB's just totally reinvented them for me, where I'm like, man, I can listen to these and appreciate them way more than I did when I was 9 years old listening to our local radios like Star 99.1. But you got your K-Love, you got everybody in there. Like this is something totally different.
All right, so the next track is This Is Life.
I feel like this was one that should be rocked out at a stadium. Like it has a huge feel to it. Like when I first heard it, thinking about the production wise, how it came in. Some records are for concerts and for live crowds, but the feeling of it was huge. Like I could hear it at Super Bowl, college football halftimes, and marching bands, specifically because in the production, the way that the horns are mixed in, they're kind of the piece of the whole beat. You know what I'm saying? And they carried it beautifully. I really dug the melody that the horns carried. I think it was a good choice for the producer. The hooks has already been dope all throughout. But this part, I really like this one a lot. From a production standpoint, and of course, like he did his thing on the verses. He does what can we say? He always do his things on the verses. You know what I'm saying? But,
I felt like at this point in the album, I'm like, okay, he's just like not letting up at all. It's like all gas, no brakes this whole time. Like, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I had like just layers upon layers in that instrumental. Like the mixing was great. Like. There's just so many. It's so deep, like, but it's just a wall of sound. Like it was, it just sounds huge.
It was like a deep dish pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's on. You know what I mean? Just you gotta eat the whole thing.
I was just gonna say, Hillsong. You know, KB has redone 2 of your songs now. You better bring him out at some point just to perform with him because those songs go crazy.
All right. So what about the track Armies, which again was a single?
Yeah. I mean, the first time I heard this, I just was bugging. Like, just I had chills. Like, I love what he says in that too. Like that first verse is just crazy. Shoes ain't Gucci. I keep my foot on the reptiles. Coming from a neck now. When the game about to end, you expect fouls.
What? What?
I was like, yeah. And every time I hear that, still, it's like I just get. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I love it. Yeah.
Get that face like when you talk to somebody and they breath bad or you smell some garbage. Like, it was wild, bro. Like when I first heard Armies, like, bro, I played that joint for 3 hours straight.
Right.
Just because the energy of it was fantastic. Like you heard nothing from KB, and then he come like, he just showed up like this. Like you just gonna show up like this. I ain't just gonna disrespect my ears like that. I wasn't even for it, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it's almost like, like a gas station hot dog, because he put everything on top of that joint. It was too, I had sriracha in my ear, duck sauce, soy. It was too saucy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Right now, probably on this album is my favorite record. Even though I've heard it a million times, I still go back to it and it sounds like the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the second, every time I hear life ain't been the same since Dad died, it's already over. It's already like, all right.
Already, bro.
Right.
I was gonna jump.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro. Like, look, man, I after the song was over, like, I joined G.I. Joe. I carried Lieutenant Dan through the forest. I saved Private Ryan. Like, that's bro. Like, all of that. This
is what Cutright is here to add. He is here to add the flavor and the liveliness of a deep dive discussion.
So great.
So the next track is Masterpiece.
Yeah, I think Masterpiece is such an interesting sort of transition where it's like it's way more low key than a lot of the other songs like Let It Rain and Armies. But I think it's also a really dope callback to Find Your Way from 2015, where KB is specifically, like, back then he was speaking in a more general sense, where he says, you're too small, too short, too tall, not big enough, thick enough, pen to the fall. They'll change it all. Everything before was wrong. Girl, you can keep it up. Just leave. This is a very long set of bars. But he's like repeating, he's going back he's taking all of that from back then, and he's sort of updating it and talking to his daughter now, where it's like these bars that were once for just girls in general and encouraging them to see themselves in the way God sees them. Now it's specifically for his daughter, and that makes it so much more personal and so much more poignant.
Yeah, it still sounds really big. Like I felt like I was in a concert hall listening to him, And then especially like when the symphony comes in, and then at the end the beat drops, and we're like, okay, here we are again. Oh yeah, I remember now. I'm listening to a KB album.
Right.
So that's what it was. It was still really cool. It's a good moment. Like it was cool. It was good to give our ears a break a little bit after like all those big things, to like take a break for a little bit, and it still is a good track. Yeah,
I feel like this joint could really be good for a branding perspective from KB. The song was beautifully crafted to encourage our sisters in Christ, and like you said about his daughter. But as a brother who sometimes wrestle with depression and self-esteem, it's hard to believe that, right? It's